Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the best 10 brawlers to max out right now. So there's only like a couple of weeks left of the season already, but you guys seem to really want to know like who to put your power points in, who to max out, because the meta has shifted a little bit. Normally I do this once a season, but you guys have been asking quite a lot for it. But anyways, think about picking up anything in this shop like this amazing, one of the best skins honestly in the game right now, Zeus Brock. Make sure you're using the credit code and mine will be greatly appreciated. I can't wait to try this one out. But without further ado, let's hop into it. Alright guys, so jumping into the first brawler you should absolutely be maxing out right now, we have Shelly. So I don't think I recommended this last time because Shelly was only starting to become good about 3 weeks ago. People just started to realize all of a sudden that Shelly was one of the best brawlers in the game. That very fast movement speed definitely helped her out a lot. And the best thing about Shelly is that she's not only really strong on Power League, she's of course really good on ladder right now. Pretty much in every single game mode. Of course, she's going to be a little bit better in those game modes where she was previously really strong in, like Brawl and Gem Grab. But like I said, you can pretty much use her everywhere. And the best thing about it right now is she's got two pretty decent star powers. I know Shell Shock was hit pretty hard with a nerf, but it's still, you know, pretty decent star power. And Band-Aid, I think, especially against a really hard matchup, can really help out Shelly. You've got Clay Pigeons as well, one of the best gadgets in the game, and she really benefits from the gears as well. Like the speed gear is just going to make her lightning fast, especially on those grassy maps. And then of course, depending on what you want to choose with Shelly, she's literally good with every other gear. So for me, Shelly has to be the brawler to max out right now. So jumping into the next brawler you should be starting to max out, it is Taurus. So Taurus only recently received a buff, but I think as the meta develops a little bit more, she'll start becoming a lot more stronger. So everyone was asking in my comments as well when I did my top 10, you know, where does Taurus gonna rank? I think right now she's probably only around the top 25 or near the middle of the meta. But for some brawlers, it takes a little bit longer for them to shift into it. I don't know, it's a little bit weird how Brawl Stars and the meta works. But I think she's pretty underrated right now. I think she's really strong in the right hands, especially on Brawl and Gem Grab. I think she'll start being like the first pick on pretty much all of those. So I recommend investing early in those Taurus stocks. Of course, she hasn't been strongest for a while now, so I don't think I've ever really advised maxing out Taurus, but she gets really good value with pretty much every gear as well. Two really good star powers, two pretty decent gadgets as well. Overall, her kit is worthwhile investing. Okay, so jumping into the next brawler you should be maxing out, it is Crow. So Crow just seems to be infinitely in the meta right now. I think until they start nerfing his slow gadget, he's going to be forever meta. There's a few key reasons for it, but anyway, main reason why you should max him out is because he's just so strong pretty much everywhere. He's really good going into everything. That's why Crow is picked so much. He's really good into tanks. He's pretty decent against just the kind of mid HP brawlers, especially like with some of the top brawlers as well in the meta, like Shelly. You know, Crow's a fantastic counter against her. And then also on some of the maps where there's a lot of unbreakable walls, Crow is actually one of the best picks in because you can use that jump to, of course, counter those throwers. And overall, he's just super versatile. So, of course, his gadget, one of the best in the game. His star power is, a lot of people tend to not really hype it up for as good as it is. 25% less damage is insane, especially as well if you're looking to counter one of the best brawlers in Hank. That extra 25% damage is going to allow you just to destroy him. So for me, Crow is a definitely must max out brawler. Okay, so jumping into the next brawler you should definitely be looking to max out, it is Hank. So Hank is a brawler I think most people should be unlocking. He's only like an epic rarity, or if you're about to like unlock a certain brawler, change it to Hank 100% because he's one of the best brawlers in the game. But anyways, he's got a really strong kit as well. He's got two good star powers and two good gadgets. So the main star power is one that gives you the extra speed. That's going to be insane, but I still feel like his shield star power is pretty underrated, especially on maps with a lot of walls. So you're going to get value out of both star powers. Both gadgets are really good. I think the shield one's a little bit better, but the slow one, you can definitely get some good value out of that one as well. And he's going to get insane value with every single gear. So of course, that's just where kind of maxing out brain works for me whenever I'm looking at a certain brawler. If they have really good star powers and really good value with gear and also gadgets, I do recommend maxing out. But not only that, of course, Hank, he's like the best brawler in the game. He's completely OP right now, so it's worthwhile definitely investing in the Hank stocks. Okay, so jumping into the next brawler you should be definitely looking to max out, it is with Tick. So again, I think I recommended last time to max out a brawler like Sprout, Tick. I think just max out a couple of throwers 100%, or at least push them up, because in certain game modes and in certain maps you definitely need a thrower to play in Power League or just in general, because unbreakable wall maps, throwers just completely dominate right now. And Tick is one of them. In knockout and bounty, I think in pretty much every single scenario, he's like the best first pick because he's pretty much good into everything. And even aggro brawlers, he can deal with somewhat well because of his tick head, especially with the mythic gear. You're going to get a lot of value out of that one. And also, as I mentioned, you know, in some scenarios, probably not tick, but other throwers, you want to be playing them, you know, in Brawl Field Gold, for example. There's a lot of unbreakable walls. So making sure you're getting a couple of those throwers maxed out because they're really toxic. So now moving on to the next best brawler to max out right now, it is Cole. So I do suggest that you max him out because it feels like Cole, for me, is just not going to receive any nerf anytime soon. He's literally been a top brawler in the meta for about a year now. He's received a couple of small nerfs, but for me, he's still like a top 10 brawler or literally always like a top 20 brawler within the meta. And the main reason why I'm suggesting to max him out as well, because right now I'm just seeing him picked so often, and not even just as a last pick. I've seen him, you know, on like Backyard Brawl, for example. People just pick a Cole, and for me, people seem to kind of forget about him. Like they actually like remember to ban, you know, the other aggro brawlers like Ash or the kind of like Sam brawlers, but then they forget about Cole because he's kind of that hybrid tank brawler for me personally anyways. So Cole is a fantastic option, of course, pretty much good everywhere. And if you learn to play a good Cole, I feel like you can learn to play any brawler. So now jumping into the next best brawler to max out, it is Anita. So Anita has started to become a lot more prevalent within the meta. I think even with throwers being somewhat of her biggest counter, I see her drafted so often. Of course, those game modes are going to be Brawl, Gem Grab, Heist, and even in some rare occasions in some other places as well. But you're going to get a lot of value out of Anita. The main reason being is because she has a lot of HP, so even in a mismatch up, she can still kind of bully her way in. And then, of course, Bruce is starting to become a little bit stronger within this certain meta. But anyway, the main reason why she's so strong, she's got two good star powers as well. Of course, you've got the one that heals you and Bruce up, which is pretty decent, not really OP. But then you've got, of course, Hyper Bear, which is really strong in Heist. And then, to be fair, she's actually got two decent gadgets. The stun one's really good against tanks, which a lot of pros are actually starting to use. And then also you've got the shield gadget, which just allows you to waste, I don't know, a couple of pieces of ammo from the opponent. So overall, she's got a really good build, and every single gear as well, she's going to get a lot of value from. So now moving on to the next best brawler to max out, we have Bonnie. So Bonnie is another brawler in the meta, which just seems to always stick in and around the top 20. She's always pretty strong in the right settings, but for me, she's a fantastic brawler to max out because she's got a really good star power. The fact that you can just jump across the map and launch onto any kind of matchup you want is really good, especially in some scenarios I'm seeing a competitive. You know, for example, I've seen Bonnie used as a mid in field goal, and then once you get your super with that extra range with the star power, you can then just jump straight onto the lane, you know, like a throw, for example, and just destroy them. That's why she's so good right now in the meta. She's a really good hybrid option. And of course, again, she's really strong everywhere. I've seen her picked a lot in bounty, seen her picked pretty much everywhere in Brawl because she's that brawler that can deal with everything. Gem Grab, not really picked as often. Heist, she's insane in, and every other game mode as well, she's pretty strong overall. So Bonnie, you're going to get a lot of value out of pretty much everything with her. Really good with all the gears as well. She's a fantastic option right now. Okay, so jumping into the next best brawler to max out, we still have Penny. So, you know, I've been speaking about how strong Penny is for about a year now. I won't keep going over why she's so strong. I think you should know it by now. But anyways, like, Penny is still one of the best brawlers in the game if you guys wanted to know. She's still got two pretty good star powers, especially depending on what matchup you're facing. You know, one star power can really help you with the tanks. I think it's called Master Blaster, which knocks them back. And then you've got the other star power, which allows you to get that extra damage with the gadget. And then, of course, Salty Barrel, even though it got nerfed, it still didn't really do anything. It's still just a small nerf, which is still going to really help you out against those tankier options. And then, of course, she's really good with all the gears as well. With Penny, super versatile, still being picked like as a first pick pretty much in every single scenario. She's still really OP right now. And finally, jumping into the last brawler you should be looking to max out within this meta, it is Stu. So I feel like most people probably have Stu pretty high in their power rankings because for a long time now, Stu has been that pop-off brawler. And he was pretty much like the best brawler in the game for a long time back when kind of Power 11 got introduced. But anyways, if you don't have him powered up, make sure you do because he gets really good value out of his star power Gasser Heal. You know, if you want to be a little bit more risky, you can run the other star power Zero Drag, but Gasser Heal is just good in every scenario, and it's got two really strong gadgets as well. And just overall, Stu is just such a powerful brawler, especially once you sort out your internet connection, then Stu starts to become really good basically. But in every meta, Stu is a pretty strong brawler. Alright guys, it's going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this one. So today I was actually going to do a Power League draft guide, but it just took me so long to get it done. I think it was like 7 hours and I was only halfway through. So tomorrow I'll definitely have that one out, but for now, enjoy the best brawlers to max out. But you know, pretty soon we should be having a Brawl talk as well, because there's only 19 days left of the season, so safe to assume we haven't got too long left. Maybe in this meta there could be some more big balance changes coming with the update. But anyways, that's going to be it for today's video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.